Hi everyone, I hope you're doing super well. You know, over the last couple of years, I have been redesigning my urban jungle living room by adding in new styles, new plants, and even watching the current plants just grow larger and larger, all creating a different environment. Well, my summer 2023 living room redesign is now complete, and I want to give you guys a tour. So if you are a regular viewer to my YouTube channel, you probably thought to yourself, well, the redesign started in mid-July. There was a part 1, a part 2, a part 3, a part 4, even a part 5, and then all of a sudden it just stopped. And that, my friends, is because of plant burnout, which is a real thing. I burned myself out reorganizing and trying to care for all of these plants at the same time. But I'm done with it. I've been done actually for probably about a week and a half, 2 weeks now. But I just didn't feel like putting together this video until now. And I'm so glad that we're putting it together now because you guys get to see all the plants and how I kind of design things and why I put them in this position the way they are currently situated. So let's take a look around here, because this is where I have some of my favorite plants, like my Anthurium magnificum, which has these big velvety, veiny, silvery vein leaves that just kind of explode and balloon over time. This is a cutting of my Philodendron Dean McDowell. I took the cutting from this mother plant here. You can see that it already has new growth coming out. And in fact, this cutting has already produced a new leaf, and it's super cute. And it's actually already has another growth point coming out there. I shouldn't have this in a pot like this because this, of course, is a crawling philodendron, just like this fella here. So normally what happens with crawling philodendron is that you want to put them in these rectangular pots. That way they can crawl along the floor just like they would do in nature. This, by the way, is one of my favorite philodendron, and it has such beautiful silver veinage on its leaves, on its foliage, just splashed with silver like it's paint. I absolutely love it. Up here is my Philodendron Jose Bono. This is a beauty that has speckles of color dotted on it. And this was gifted to me by my buddy Todd about 10 months ago, I would say. And it has already shot out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 new leaves that are popping out, and each one has little speckles of color on them. The variegation, of course. And speaking of variegation, here's my Philodendron Burley Marks Variegata. This is a stunning plant with dapples of yellow and white, and it just kind of accentuates the green, all the green that's around it. I absolutely love it. And so aside from that, I have some Alocasia over here, some beauties, including my Alocasia Jacqueline. I love the foliage on the Alocasia Jacqueline. It is absolutely stunning. I have this plant growing in pond, and it seems to be doing pretty well. I recently transferred it over. But take a look at this plant over here. This is what's known as a Philodendron Green Sky. It is a new hybrid that's pretty much just come out on the market within the last year. I absolutely love it, and I'm so curious to see how big its leaves will get. I have had it for, gosh, probably 7-ish, 8 months, I think. But it's doing really well. I figured it would be growing faster, but it's been pumping out, I'd say, about 1 leaf every month and a half, 2 months or so. But the new leaves have been absolutely stunning. And I imagine as this plant continues to grow, it will just continue to get beautiful, beautiful, beautiful foliage as it already has. Speaking of beautiful, look, the sun's setting over the Rocky Mountains. I just love that sight. And speaking of growth also, take a look at my Philodendron Patriciae. This is my favorite plant. I've had this plant, I think, for a year and a half, 2 years or so. And it started off as a little plant with only about 3 or 4 leaves, probably up to here. I think it was probably 6 inches at the time. Now, this thing, if you put it down on the ground, it's about 5 feet tall. And you can see right up there, it's got a brand new leaf that's just starting to unfurl. that started happening within the last week or so. And I'm so excited. Not only that, but this right here is a flower that's hopefully going to bloom. It's been trying to bloom for, oh God, I think like 2 months now. Not 2 months, month and a half, I would say. But it would be my first philodendron that I've ever had that flower. So I am excited about that. You know what else I forgot to show you guys while we were over here are my anthurium crystallinum. This is one of them. This guy has ballooned in size, got it as a little baby. It's been shooting out new leaf after new leaf. The first leaf I had was only about like this big. These two really took off. They're like mask type at this point. But this is my baby anthurium crystallinum. I have a larger one as well. That one is sitting over on the other side, and it is quite the beauty. I absolutely love those plants. And surprisingly, they're kind of easy to care for once you start to understand anthurium. Outside of that, I have my Philodendron Florida Ghost right over there. It's called the Florida Ghost because each new leaf, if it's given proper conditions like bright indirect light, like super bright indirect light, its new leaves come out white. And you can see that it also has these gorgeous red petioles that are attached to the stem, in between the stem and the leaf. And it's got a new leaf coming out. So I'm really excited for that. Oh my gosh, it's golden hour right now. Look at this. This is my favorite time of day when the plants just get to bask in the glory and the beauty of the sunshine as it's setting. It's so pretty. Speaking of pretty, some of my other pretty plants are over here, like my Alocasia quilted dream. This one has such unique foliage to it. It kind of looks plasticky, but I absolutely love it. And this is another easy to care for tropical plant that I think really helps make a room pop. Over here is my Alocasia Cupria. I love this plant's coppery rubber type leaves. They're so beautiful. Here's the big crystallinum that I was talking about that I've had for, gosh, 2.5 years. This thing has ballooned in size also. What's interesting is that I felt like it hadn't grown any new leaves in, gosh, it was probably like 5 months. And then all of a sudden they just started popping one after another. And I am here for it. Oh boy, let's see. We have just beyond it, stunning little Hoya. This Hoya is really cute, and I love it because it's small and it doesn't grow too large, but it's got beautiful variegation to its leaves, and the new leaves come in this bright red that's really gorgeous. Just behind it is my Anthurium veitchii, and that, of course, is the king anthurium. That's one of my favorite plants, and it has been a joy and a pleasure to watch that thing grow. That leaf just came out, oh gosh, I think it was like 3 or 4 weeks ago. Then over here is my Philodendron Summer Glory. This is a hybrid plant, and it is beautiful. And then we have my Alocasia zebrina. This, I love its foliage, but even more so, check out those stems. Those are absolutely beautiful. They look like a zebra. And beyond it, we have one of my cuttings of my anthurium, Philodendron gloriosum here. Beautiful, beautiful velvety leaves. Just beyond it is the Philodendron gigas climber, which I've had for almost 4 years now. It's a beauty. And then my Philodendron Burley Marks Fantasy. I love the leaves on that thing. That is absolutely stunning. And it took me a while to understand that plant. But once I did, I have to say it is indeed one of my favorites. I have some Syndapsis next to it as well. And then this beauty here, this is my Alocasia serena, which is related to this Alocasia zebrina. But that guy has that neat looking veinage that just kind of pops and sticks out. It's beautiful. And then a bromeliad over here. I really like the colors on this. So yeah, that's pretty much around for this corner. Aside from a cutting of my Philodendron bilietiae, a Syndapsis exotica, an anthurium flamingo flower, of course. Then this cute little pink syngonium, which I think is absolutely lovely. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it for this corner. But there's still a lot more in this living room. Oh, I forgot to point out the jade satin syndapsis, which is one of my favorite syndapsis. And I have it there kind of climbing up my wall, but on hooks so it doesn't latch on. But this is kind of the, I don't know, area where I sit and watch TV. I have some more Philodendron gloriosum cuttings over here that I made from my original plant. And I have Epipremnum, global green pothos, some more Philodendron, Micans, jewel orchid, and this is such a beauty here. This is my Philodendron Varicosam, and I absolutely love that foliage. It's velvety green, and it's so pretty. This plant I've had for 3 years, and it was a struggle to get growing because it requires so much humidity and cooler temperatures, but I have cut this thing up and propagated it time and time again to the point where it has acclimated to my conditions. So alas, that is my tip to you guys, is that if a plant doesn't do well in your conditions, just propagate it over and over and over again until a version of it comes out that actually will get along well with whatever environment you have. Though I do keep the humidity in here around 50–60%, and there's constant air circulation because of air purifiers and then my central air, of course. I'm wondering, though, if you guys ever wanted to know about the crates and why the crates. But why not the crates, you might add, Kevin? The reason for the crates is because, one, they're incredibly cheap to get. I mean, you can go to like a Lowe's or Home Depot and pick them up, the big ones, for like $10–12 a piece. Or you can go to a place like Ross, Home Goods, and find them for like $3–4. I've lucked out and found quite a few. But one of the reasons is, one, because they look like, have that urban jungle type vibe with wood to them. But also the inexpensive factor plays a role. But I really like the fact that they're kind of like, if you think about it, like Legos for a plant collector, because you can stack them around as many times as you want in different creative poses and designs and styles that will really help accentuate your home. And that's what I love, because I'm constantly changing up the look and feel of my living room, my apartment, and I feel like they just do wonders. And what's also nice is because they have the slits in them, is that light pours through, but also blocks out harsh sun. I have western facing windows, so during the summer months like now, it's difficult, but what's nice is that it does block it out, so you get dappled, bright, indirect light on a lot of these plants, which is what these plants want. So that's a big reason for it, and I have plenty of them, and I really do like designing them quite a bit. But yeah, I wanted to focus back over near the TV. Because even though I'm not like the biggest TV or movie watcher, one thing remains consistent about this area is my green wall. I've had this green wall since I moved in here 3 years ago, but it's always changed up. I like to switch it up with different plants inside of these little crates over here and on top. Right now, I still have like my neon philodendron, heteracea, my green Philodendron heteracea, and my Philodendron Brazil heteracea with that beautiful variegation. And then I have some of my Philodendron giganteum cuttings that I've potted up and put inside there, up there. But that changes a lot. But I do love the look of it. I used to have these heteroeciums kind of climbing like this neon green one is up there, and it was kind of going all over the place, but I wanted to clean it up a little bit and give it a different look. And I'll switch out the plants that are inside these crates as well. But yeah, when I do sit down and like watch a movie or TV, it's so relaxing, because I don't know, it's just nice being surrounded by all of these plants in this jungle. It's really fun. But yeah, sorry it took me forever to finish this living room tour. But again, it just happens. Plant burnout is a real thing, folks, and those of you with large collections know that all too well. But what's next is the kitchen area. That's what I'm going to be redesigning, as well as my bedroom. So I hope that you folks will stay tuned for that. And thanks so much for dealing with my nonsense. And if you haven't already, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more fun planty content. I'll see you guys in the next video.